This is an assignment for school, so no one's allowed to get mad at me for that. Nobody, okay? You just can't. I'm doing this for school. And I'm doing this project on YouTube because I think it has information in it that lots of people need to know. Lots of people, more than we know. This is a project about drugs. Don't get mad at me for that either. First, let's see. My name is Brittany. Brittany Hedges. Nice to meet you all, people I don't know. We all know what the first thing that comes to your mind when you think of drug is. But really, it's something you put in your body that affects and changes things in your brain and in your body itself. Drug use is when you take it. But don't confuse that with drug abuse, which is when you use an illegal substance or abuse a legal substance. So technically, drug use is taking a legal substance. You have two types of addiction, psychological and physical. Psychological addiction is all in your head. Well, yeah, technically it's all in your head. You think you need the drug to get through your life, get through the day, to be happy. A physical addiction is where it messes up your body. Like your body can't function right anymore without it, and it messes with everything. And one sec. I'm going to tell you all the drugs they taught us about. And I'm going to tell you what they do. And I'm going to take off the hat. Because I don't think you'll take me seriously with it on. Off goes the hat. Okay, the hat's off. So, first drug we learned about were amphetamines. Ring a bell to any of you, okay? They're speed, uppers, dexies, bunnies. They're swallowed, inhaled, or injected. Swallowed or snorted, they hit you with this fast high. It makes you feel powerful, alert, energized. Uppers bump up your heart rate, breathing, and blood pressure. They can cause shaking, sweating, headaches, sleeplessness, and blurred vision. Prolonged use will lead to hallucinations and intense paranoia. They're psychologically addictive. People who stop report an intense need for the drug and really bad mood swings. Really bad mood swings, you don't want that. Then you have cocaine and crack. Made out of the same thing, but done up a little different. Cocaine is coat, snow, blow, nose candy, white, big C, crack, freebase, rock. Cocaine is inhaled through the nose or injected, and crack is smoked. Cocaine is a stimulant. It gives you a quick, intense feeling of power. The high lasts between 10-30 minutes when you're smoking, and 5-10 minutes. Well, okay, I think I got that wrong. 5-10 minutes when you're smoking, 15-30 minutes when you snort it. Sorry, I got that wrong. Don't get mad at me for that, okay? Sorry, people. Cocaine elevates your heart rate, breathing rate, blood pressure, and your body temperature. Injecting coke can give you hepatitis or AIDS if you share needles. And snorting can put a hole in the inside lining of your nose. It sounds so pleasant, doesn't it? First-time users, even if you're a teen, of both cocaine and crack, can have a heart attack and die. It can be a one-time drug just because you die. They're highly addictive. It's very, very difficult to stop with the physical and psychological cravings that come with it. Um, you have over-the-counter cough and cold medicines. How do I put this? Oh, some of them contain an ingredient called dextromethorphan. Sorry if I pronounced that wrong. Also called DMX. If you take it in large quantities, it can cause hallucinations, loss of motor control, and out-of-body sensations. Street names: Triple C, Candy, CCC, Dex, DM, Drex, Red Devils, Robo, Rojo, Skittles, Tussin, Velvet, Vitamin D. Small doses do what they're supposed to. They help suppress coughing. Larger doses can cause fever, confusion, impaired judgment, blurred speech, dizziness, paranoia, excessive sweating, slurred speech, nausea, vomiting, abdominal pain. The list is very long, okay? Give me a minute. Irregular heartbeat, high blood pressure, headache, lethargy, numbness of fingers and toes, redness of face, dry itchy skin, loss of consciousness, seizures, brain damage, and death. Sometimes people mix it with other stuff without knowing they are, and which really bumps up the chance of ODing or just dying all out. Because an overdose will not always kill you, but it can very, very easily. Depressants calm your nerves, relax your muscles, you know. The street names are downers, goofballs, barbs, fluids. They're swallowed. If you take it right, then it will help calm you down and reduce angry emotions. If you take too much of it, it can cause confusion, slurred speech, lack of coordination, and tremors. And very large doses could make you stop breathing. They're psychologically and physically addictive. You'll get very dependent on them. Ecstasy, the designer drug, ATC, X, Atom, E, Roll. It's swallowed or snorted. It combines a hallucinogen with something else. It combines things. You don't know exactly what you're going to get with ecstasy. Ever. Some of it's made with a base of like heroin or crack. You just don't know what you're getting. It can cause dry mouth, cramps, blurred vision, chills, sweating, nausea. Some people clench their jaws when they take it, which can lead to really bad teeth problems and health problems. Many users experience depression, paranoia, anxiety, and confusion. It can become permanent with chronic use. It also raises the temperature of the body, which can cause organ damage or death. And no one's fully sure on the physical addiction, but it is psychologically. You become dependent on it in your head. You think you need it to get through life. You have heroin, which I personally want to tell you about, is horse smack, big H, junk. It's injected, smoked, or inhaled. It gives you these really high feelings, like you're on top of the world, which everybody wants. But after the high, a lot of people get dizziness, drowsy, stomach cramps, you get sick, you sit there and vomit, and right afterwards you feel like you have to take it again and again. You have to. Right after the high's gone, you need it, no matter what. And it can cause collapsed veins, and you have a much higher probability of, just getting all these sicknesses: hepatitis B and C, HIV from sharing needles. The lining of your heart can swell up completely. It's highly addictive, and people find it really hard to stop. The withdrawal symptoms are horrible. It's just, yeah. Okay. No, just real quick telling you, this is a video so you don't do them. Don't do these things. Inhalants, which basically everyone has done. It's believed this is the most abused form of drug. It can be household things, cleaners, paint thinners. There are some actual, ones that you can buy as a drug itself, but it doesn't have to be that way. You can sniff, snorting, that's when it comes straight from the thing, bagging, whenever it's in a little plastic baggie, or huffing, which is when you soak a cloth in it, put it over your face, huff it. It can make you feel giddy, confused, and long-time users get headaches, nosebleeds, and you can suffer from loss of hearing and smell. They're very addictive. Teens who use inhalants can become psychologically dependent on them to feel good, do life. You have ketamine, hydrochloride. It's an anesthetic. It's legally used in humans and animals. At high doses, it can cause intoxication and hallucinations like LSD or acid, depending on how you know it. It's called Special K, vitamin K bump, cat Valium. It usually comes in a powder that you can snort, and people usually do it with other drugs like ecstasy, cocaine, sprinkle them on a blunt. Yeah. You can become delirious, hallucinate, illusions of time and reality. The trip, which is also known as the K-hole, can last up to 2 hours. Users can become nauseated or vomit, become delirious, have problems with thinking or memory, which if you lose track of reality, of course, you're going to have those problems. At higher doses, it causes movement problems, numbness, slow breathing. If you OD on ketamine, can stop you from breathing and kill you ultimately. You can become psychologically dependent on it. LSD is colorless and tasteless. It's known as acid, blotter, doses, microdots. It's licked or sucked off as small squares. Capsules and liquid forms can be swallowed. It can be decorated with cute cartoon characters and colorful designs. The hallucinations occur within 30 to 90 minutes. And the trip can be longer than 12 hours. When you have a bad trip, it can give you things like panic attacks, confusion, depression, very frightening delusions. People report hearing things, seeing things that aren't there at all. Physical risk includes sleeplessness, mangled speech, convulsions, increased heart rate, and coma. There is one person actually who never came down off their trip, and they had to go into a mental hospital because once they were on, they never came off. People years later, after they even quit the drug, will feel like they're still on LSD. It is psychologically dependent. You become psychologically dependent on it. Now then, marijuana, which we have all heard of, seeing with this big thing going on right now. The actual name is cannabis, sativa or cannabis indica, which do two entirely different things. One speeds you up, one slows you down. Before the age of 18, I did research outside of school for this. You have cannabinoid receptors in your brain, okay? And if you smoke cannabis before the age of 18, it will halt the growth and overall damage your brain. Well, like alcohol, stuff like that, except it doesn't hurt the brain after that. People say it can have the same effect as cigarettes on the lungs, while others say that only happens if you're smoking cigarettes at the same time as you're smoking cannabis. It's used for mental problems like depression, which makes it so you can't sleep at night, you can't eat, and cannabis makes you sleepy and hungry. So that counteracts that pretty well when you think about it. Then I guess it all depends on where you stand on it. But marijuana is the Mexican slang term for cannabis. Straight names: weed, pot, and how blunts, chronic, grass, reefer, herb, ganja. It's smoked, or it can be smoked. People put it in food, like brownies, and it can be made into a tea. You can smoke it different ways too. You can roll it up in little papers, like to make joints or blunts. You can smoke it out of a pipe, or let's see, what's this other one they put? Hollowed out cigars. It can affect your mood and coordination. If you don't need it, it can make you depressed. That's why it's not for everybody. But I truly and honestly, throwing an opinion out into this, believe that it can be used medicinally, seeing as it has been throughout time and throughout the world. You can become psychologically dependent on cannabis. Just throwing that out. Then you have meth, crank, methamphetamine, crank, meth, speed, crystal, chalk, fire, glass, crypto, ice. It can be swallowed, snorted, injected. It gives you a rush, unlike most others can even believe, and you can develop a tolerance very quickly to meth. It can result in sleeplessness, paranoia, hallucinations. Normal. You get a big rush. You can have intense delusions, like believing there are things crawling inside your skin, which is why they always teach us about the picking. Prolonged use may result in violent, aggressive behavior, psychosis, and brain damage. The chemicals used can be dangerous to everything around it, the environment and the people. This is a highly addictive drug. Now, I know this was a school project and all that, but from the people in my life who I know have been affected by this, and I really wanted to share the message with everybody else. These can all kill you. And they make you feel good, but they don't really make you feel good. Without them, you can't feel good anymore in your mind, or your body won't let you. You just feel like crap. Which is not a cuss word, thank you everybody. You can get a natural high though. Whenever an adrenaline rush or something, when your body just naturally releases more of something that can make you feel good, like adrenaline junkies, skydiving, bungee jumping, heck, even swimming in certain currents. Yeah, I personally ride steers, bulls, stuff like that. Just doing something you love can give you an adrenaline rush. Living is a natural high. So don't do these things. Just a message to send out to everybody. One day you will regret it, either when you're in the ground or when you have nothing left. It tears things apart slowly and painfully. And I love you all, and I wish, even if I don't know you, here's a heart right here, right there. Even if I don't know you, I love you all, and I hope everybody can live their life